Uh-oh, if the calm before the storm was ever an episode, that would be this episode right here, episode 4 of Alien Earth. Just came out yesterday, let's waste no time, let's get into it. But first, manipulation and coercion. That is the main theme of this episode. Because holy shit, after everything that I've seen, Prodigy Corporation deserves to go under. And the biggest thing out of all of this being Boy Cavalier's descent into greed and madness. Wanting everything to work out the way he wants it to no matter what. And with these new obtained creatures, he wants to know everything about them before any other corporation does. Even if that means sacrificing the lives of others in order to do so. And that exact same thing can be applied to Morrow, who is actively trying to get the aliens back to Weyland-Yutani. Using slightly Orarush in this case to get what he wants. Giving him the biggest ultimatum of them all. If you do not do this, your family will suffer for it. And throughout all of this, Kirsch knows what's happening, yet hasn't said anything to anyone about it. I believe it's a matter of wanting to know fully what's going on before it happens, but also going against Boy Cavalier's aspect, realizing that this is probably not a good idea. But obviously, still following the loyalty of Boy Cavalier and everyone else, just so no one catches on. He has his own schemes and everything, but we don't know what it is just yet. That being said, all the synthetics that we know of have their own weird shit going on. The most prevalent one out of all of them being Wendy. Yeah, she can like speak to xenomorphs or some shit. You know, she has the ability to do that now. I don't even think she knows what she's saying. No one knows what she's saying, but she can do it. So odds are like 90% sure she's probably going to become a mother or something like that. Maybe not a queen exactly, but something along those lines. And I'm just saying, with that kind of power, you could take over Prodigy if you wanted to. Because who's going to stop you? Everyone has to be on your good side. Because heaven forbid, right, in the next 2 days, when this thing is fully grown and you're able to control it, no one's gonna wanna mess with you. Because there is no way Boy Cavalier is going to be able to rope you and that thing in without getting hurt in the process. And that egotistical mindset of his and that corruption is not gonna get him very far. And if she figures out how to use this power, it's the end of Prodigy. It really is. And Redhead here, she genuinely just pissing me off. I'm pregnant. No, you're not. She was definitely on that timing. But she genuinely pissed me off. You know, for a synthetic that's strong and is meant to have a supercomputer for a brain, you're pretty dumb. Oh, but she's a child. I don't care. She's not pregnant. And I think she knows that too. She's just going through a psychotic episode or something. I think she just has this weird affection for this Oculus monster. And on that topic, that scene with the sheep was brutal. Hard watch. Tore that thing a new one. And I mean eyeball in this case, because that's actually what happened. But seeing it in action, I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, it doesn't hold back, and it'll rip you apart. But I think overall, this episode is just the starting point of more horrendous things to come. And it's only the 4th episode, and shit has already happened to a very high extent in the previous ones. Where Kirsch goes with all the information that he knows now about Wendy and what's-his-face, Slightly, and Morrow and how they're talking to one another. Don't know where that goes from here. Wendy being able to speak to these xenomorphs, basically becoming a mother. Don't know how they're gonna go about doing that. A lot of potential there, and it's definitely the end of Prodigy sometime soon. I think this is why Weyland-Yutani wanted it, because they know how to properly deal with these things. And Prodigy just is completely unaware of everything that's going on. They think they do, and Boy Cavalier thinks he does, but in all reality, he doesn't.